the government wants to introduce the EPC values of a C. At the moment, the minimum is E, but to increase properties EPC energy performance certificate values to a C is going to be difficult for some properties. For instance, we've got a electrical heated property exposed on 3 sides to the elements. Unless that landlord introduces insulated internal walls on all 3 sides, it's going to be really difficult to increase. He's already got the highest level of storage heaters. He's now getting better windows, which will only add about 1 or 2 points to the EPC. He needs 16 points to get to a C. What I'm proposing is that we look at all our properties EPCs, what they recommended, and how we can improve that EPC from a low level to a C without spending an absolute fortune. The government wants to introduce new regulations regarding the energy performance of rented properties, and we think it's going to be recommended that all properties must be a C in order to be rented. We've got the electric heated properties. We've already got problems with huge amounts of mold in those properties. Our tenants are really struggling to heat them economically. Not all of them have got the highest level of storage heaters, and even storage heaters still cost a lot to heat. So be very careful when you install storage heaters, because they might not be the ones recommended by energy assessors. The cost of EPCs is going to be increased hugely, because instead of going in and out quickly, an energy assessor will spend several hours measuring every single window for the amount of glass, how thick the frames are, what type of glass it is, what the gap is in between. Light bulbs are the easy bit. If you replace all the light bulbs with low energy light bulbs, that's perhaps 1 point. Loft insulation is, if you make it maximum 300, that adds just a few points. The walls and the heating is the major thing. Your hot water tank is actually one that can reasonably easily be fixed. If it's one of these old water tanks and it's got the red blanket around it, make sure it's a thick blanket. That will get an extra point. But if it's got 2 elements, one added to the night supply and one on the day supply, then it gets an extra few points on the EPC. I'll show you what an EPC looks like, and then you will see the bands F, E, D, C. It's really worth getting an energy assessor to do a proper valuation on a property that you're worried about. Another tip is, if you put in new windows, make sure you get the manufacturer's certificate to provide to your EPC assessor, because unless he sees that certificate, he will have to guess what the windows are. So you really need the U and the G values of those windows, and you need to have it on a certificate from the guy who installed it. And I found that although you want to support the local window installers, it is sometimes better just to pay a few £100 more and get one that is Fencer registered, or one that gets the council to issue the certificate, but get the manufacturing certificate. And the local guy sometimes can't give that. With new heaters, you have to be really careful. If you're getting storage heaters, make sure they are the high retention storage heaters. You can get about 6 points extra if you have a high retention storage heater. The EPC methodology is going to be changing. So what is valid today and what increases the EPC today might not be the case in a year's time when they have revised the EPC criteria. The whole aim of the energy performance certificate, they want to save energy and save the world. But electricity, does it save the world?